guys. I wanted to give you a little bit of history about our new place and how we arrived here. I lived in Bel Air for a while with my husband. We ended up, of course, together. Lived in Boston for a little while, then we moved to Darlington. While we were at Darlington, there were several things that happened that kind of led me to a place that I didn't like to be. We lived with my mom and dad. It was right. It was following the death of Marshall. We miss you. We lived there for about 14 years. I was in a place that I really didn't like to be as far as mentally. I worked for a little while, and as the kids grew up, I kind of lost myself. The house was not in the kind of shape that I would typically like to have my house to be in. When we lived in Boston, our house was really nice and it was nice and tidy, but as the kids grew up, I lost sight of who I was and where I was and why I wanted to do those things. So I became a hoarder. I noticed that as time went on, as my children grew up, I started to become less and less engaged in what they were doing. Our once immaculate home started to become trashier and trashier. I started feeling like it wasn't my responsibility to pick it up, so I just stopped completely. As time went on, you could really tell the house really started to take its toll. I lost interest in just about everything, except my children. I slept a lot. Our bedroom, which was once wonderful, became overgrown with just my stuff, and I think it kind of took a example of where my brain was, which was absolute chaos. Our room became filled with stuff. We had a large king-size bed. Our room became piled up to a point where our king-size bed was basically the size of a little bit more than a full-size bed, if that, just because all the junk was overpiling. If I had to get to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I would have to get up. I'd have to crawl over my husband, over the mountain of all the stuff that we had in the bedroom, and hope that I got to the bathroom and back without breaking my neck. In February of 2011, we were asked to leave our home. We were asked to leave the home by my mother and father. So isn't that lovely when your parents are just so loving like that? I obviously don't get along with them very well. There's a lot of hard feelings there. We decided to move in August after Madison graduated in 2011. Morgan had already graduated in 2009, and Madison was off to WVU in August. So that's when we moved. We moved here to Williamsburg Court, as you saw earlier, and it wasn't an easy move. Before we left, we made an agreement with my parents that they would take care of the house. There was a hurricane coming in. We ran pumps, we ran hoses, we ran generators, we had everything plugged up. Hurricane hit on Thursday that we were gone. We returned on Tuesday, and everything was under about 9 inches of water. So what little bit we did have left was ruined. Most of that being my clothes. It was a horrible thing then because we lost so much, but then I realized as time went on that it was maybe not as terrible as I thought it was. At the time when you lose everything, you just look at where everything used to be and you say, I've lost it all. And then you realize that it's just stuff. And what I lost sight of was that while the things that my parents and everyone else called junk and trash, while it did have value to me, of course, I didn't realize the value of empty space, and that sometimes that empty space is more valuable than the stuff all over the place. So we came back here to Williamsburg Court, decided that we were going to start over. Wasn't crazy about the idea at first. Right now I'm not so crazy if there's a bat flying around. But we moved here and we've made the best of it. It's been almost 2 years. I can very happily say that I am no longer a hoarder, and I would like to give you a tour of our home. So you can come with me. This is the court that we live on, Williamsburg Court. It's in 7 Oaks in Edgewood. I'm right off the Hanson Bridge. So as you come into the court, this is our home. It's a very nice neighborhood. You can hear them yelling in the background, but they're just talking. It's a great neighborhood. You have 2 parking spaces. We have nice group of neighbors just on this side, and a very nice group of neighbors on this side. They're really nice people. This is my little creation. It's been 2 years since we've been here. Last year, of course, we moved, and like I said, feeling like we lost a lot of things. We didn't have a whole lot, so this was bare, and I wanted to kind of make it a home and give it some homemade touches. There's still some things I'd like to do, but for now, this is it. So I start with our front steps. Welcome to the Dream Bowers. As you come in, you're going to hear our crazy dog Aspen. Hi, Aspen. Come on. So, when you come in, this is the first thing you see here. So when you come in, to your right is the communication room. And of course he doesn't have the keys by the door. One of the few things that wasn't super crazy about when we moved in, but I've become accustomed to, please stop, is when you walk in, your eyes naturally go to the right. And to the right is, I'm going to give it a darker view right now, because I kind of made up our kitchen table. This is our kitchen. I'm going to turn the light on here. Okay. I don't know who designed this kitchen, but they didn't do a very good job. We have a very little stove. We have a very little sink. If you have a sink that's got 2 sides, be very happy. We went from always having 2 sinks to having 1 sink, and it's driving me crazy. We don't really have a whole lot of room, so I know that the kitchen looks cramped. It might even look a little cluttered, but we've done the best that we can with the little bit amount of space that we do have here. When you walk in our kitchen, I don't think you're getting surprised. The first 2 things that you see are my pride and joys, my babies, my pink mixer that I always wanted, and my Keurig. I love my Keurig, use it all the time, probably about 2 or 3 times a day. Funny thing about the Keurig is nobody in our house drinks coffee. But we love it and we use it, and I wouldn't give it up for anything. The table, a little bit about the table. This is my grandmother's table. May she rest in peace. This came from her home. One of the few things that I ended up with during her passing. If this table were to be sitting in her home, in her farmhouse, and her refrigerator were here, as this one is, orientation, my grandfather would have been sitting here, and my grandmother would have sat here. My mother would have sat at this place, and my aunt would have sat here, and there would have been a wall behind her. When I was growing up, my grandfather would sit here a lot, where he could access the freezer, because at the time the freezer was at the bottom, and I would sit here, and we would sneak ice cream. So that was kind of neat. Now, being the droppers, Chip sits here, and I sit here. If both girls are home, then Madison only sits at this spot, and Morgan only sits at this spot. And if we only have one girl here, like we have now, because Morgan's in Ocean City, then Madison will sit here, because nobody really wants to sit next to a trash can. The washer dryer, as you can see, are here, and I want to share some thoughts on that in a little bit. I want to touch on this briefly. This is our little. This is just a fabric bin. Madison wanted to have a filing system for her mail, so we created a filing system. And then during the day, what happens is I get the mail and we sort it out, and then everybody gets their mail when they get home. This is our second doorway to the kitchen. Aspen's very fond of this doorway. She can run in this doorway and run around and run through this doorway. So it's her little track. It's going to be interesting for the video to see where she ends up. She likes to get this in the frame. So this is our kitchen. The reason why the kitchen table set is because when we first moved here, this table was clean. And as I feared, the table started to become a catch-all for everything. People would come in and coats would get laid on the table, purses would get laid on the table, umbrellas would get laid on the table. Of course, if we came in from the grocery store, everything would get piled on the table, and it would be we'll get to it later. And when you walk in the door, like I said, this is the first place your eye goes, and it was just starting to pile up. And as everybody knows who is a hoarder, or has been a hoarder, that's how it starts. So I decided that I want to nip it in the bud. I went to a website called Real Simple, and this was an idea that they had. They said if your kitchen table is a catch-all for everything, to set the table as if when you walk in the door, as if it looks like someone is getting ready to sit down and have a meal. So I arranged our table, and this looks great. So if you have a kitchen and your kitchen table is your catch-all and you're taking forever to sit at the table, then I would highly recommend doing this because it works great. Moving along. We're going to move first into our living room. Aspen is sharing the room with you, as you can see. We're going to start to the right. This is, you might be able to see the entryway where we were here before. As you can see, we love books. And this is Venus's favorite spot. We continue around to the main part of the living room. We have our bookcase. We have our chair, where this is Aspen's favorite chair, Aspen chair. This is where she goes when she's ready for a walk. We have a small, small table here, small closet here, that we are vacuuming in Christmas decorations in. Computer desk. We have, you can see it. We actually, this time last year, when we looked outside, there was nothing there. It was empty, and that was something that I wanted to change. So this year, we did. I'm going to do my little OCD thing here. This year, when the sales hit, we got a nice outside table that we have shared some meals in, and we got a little zero gravity chair that I can turn out. My large professional chair. Love our TV, our bookcase where we keep our videos and everything with my little angels. We have a coffee table, you can see is a work in progress, and our banner, which we try to keep in mind, which is Home Sweet Home. Something that I received for Christmas one year, and my mother called it a comforter. I don't know why, for the real small stuff. So, as we head back out, we find a very sizable hall closet. A little overrun at the moment. This isn't because it's overrun, it's because he's at the studio. Starting from where we had started before, we had made the right to go in the kitchen. If we make the left, is our small powder room. A little funny story with our small powder room. I say that it's small, but if any of you have one bathroom, you know that if you have 4 people, having that extra bathroom really doesn't matter how big it is, as long as you have that extra bathroom. Funny story about me, the klutz, without fail, I will come in here to use the bathroom, and every single time I bend over, and I smack my head right on the wall. That's how big it is, or how small it is. As you can see, this is how big it is. But, like I said, that second bathroom can be priceless when you really need it. What good Catholic family wouldn't have our crucifix, which was a gift, our Lord and Savior, and our new Pope, who's doing a wonderful job, and we're very proud of him. This is sort of our wall. This is kind of our memory wall, and I'm not going to zero in on everything, but it continues up the stairwell. We have some medals here that the girls won. We have some things from Disney when we went for our anniversary. We love Disney. We have some pictures, and as you progress, you can see where it starts with Morgan being little and Madison being little, and Morgan being with Victoria Chance when she was a baby. And these are just 2 of our maps that we have. We went to Disney World, and we just took the map, and yes, it is tattered and pushed, and you can kind of see where it's been bent, but I kind of feel like that was the charm of it. So these are 2 of them. We have 4, and we hung them here in our stairwell, and wherever it was that we saw the characters, we had them sign them. So the other 2 that we have, we need new frames for, and when we get that, they'll go up. This particular spot, other than our spot for our shoes and our bags and whatnot, this is my little corner. This is one of the first things I see when I come down the stairs every morning. These monkeys were, these are the monkeys. They were one of my favorite groups when I was growing up, probably. When I say growing up, I mean starting at about 3 years old. I was totally infatuated with Peter Tork. I loved him. I even had a wall, and I wrote Mrs. Peter Tork all over the wall. I always said that I was going to meet them, and I was always told that that could never happen because they weren't real, and why would they ever want to have anything to do with me. But I have this little note here: angel dreams can come true, to remind myself that if there's something that you really want, you can do it. You just have to want it. The Monkees, Davy Jones, Mickey Dolenz, Peter Tork, Michael Nesmith. On the 9th of June 2012, we went to Club 66, and I met Peter Tork. My father said that he didn't exist. Guess what, Dad? He exists. Here's one of my favorite pictures of Peter Tork and I, and he's giving me a great big hug and has his chin kind of rested on my head, and giving me a big old bear hug, and it's a memory I'll never forget. It was wonderful. Sometimes good things happen when you get out of bed. So, I'll take you up our stairwell. I'm going to turn the light off for momentarily. As you can see, the stairwell can be a little treacherous if you're not careful. If you come in and it's dark, excuse me. If you come in and it's dark, that's how dark it is. So we decided that we were going to kind of install our own runway. These are just Christmas lights that we put around the stairs so that people like me will not fall down the stairs or up the stairs. We're going to go upstairs. Again, our hallway, when Madison was doing this fire prevention, Brian and Madison at home. Beautiful picture of Morgan. Picture of Morgan. She was a cheerleader. This is my varsity cheerleading squad. Morgan's high school photo. Madison with her sister. She graduated, yay! And the sister picture. And there's some Disney photos. This is probably, if the house was on fire and I had two minutes to grab something, this is probably one of the first things I'd grab. This is something that Morgan made when she was in preschool with her handprints. So it means a lot to me. Some other various photos. This is our full-size bath, which is at the top of the stairs. Various things here. A small window, a full-size shower. And as you can see, this bathroom is more spacious. Not touching the wall here. Not banging my head on things. And this is where we chose to put our litter box. Turn should always be at the top of the stairs, right? So, this is one of my most proud things that I have for the house. This is the bedroom. This is our big California king-size bed. This is Chip's side of the bed. And this is my side of the bed. And as you can see, right here, I no longer have to crawl over anybody to go to the bathroom. I can get up like a normal person. With Aspen, of course, sitting here at my feet. The room, I know, probably is not that big of a deal to most people, but it is to me because in our old house, I would have had just clutter, clothes, clutter, piled up to here and over onto the bed. That's not here anymore. At the time it was a big loss because I felt like I lost everything. And while those things that I had are gone, what I have now is this. This is empty space. This empty space has more value than any of the things that got ruined during the hurricane. And for anybody who's fighting hoarding, or anybody who knows anybody who's fighting hoarding, I highly suggest that you help them clean out one room and let them come to their own conclusion and have their own value as far as what this empty space is worth. This empty space is, I can't put a price tag on it. The things that we lost in the flood, I can replace, but empty space is so much more valuable than those things. One of the last things in this room that I want to point out, only because it does mean so much, the dresser and the top dresser and the smaller dresser. These were originally in Chip's grandmother's room, and his aunt and his uncle very generously gave this to us when, as I said, we lost everything. This is a little showcase for me because this is something that I've always wanted to do my entire life, and I was never able to. This is going to turn into this is my makeup collection a little bit. These are all Bed Bath & Beyond fragrances. I have my these are my seasonal sprays. Twisted, which is a peppermint. Again, good idea. The back row here are just regular fragrances, Pearberry, my favorites. And then this row, including this red one, and this row, and this row. These are all. Pick out a better one. These are all my glitter shimmery ones, which I love. I found a container that we don't use, and this is where I keep all of my makeup brushes. And they always say dry your brushes flat, so this is where the brushes go when I'm finished using them. Dry them flat, I put them here. And lastly, this little container. If anybody has a large makeup collection like I do, I highly recommend getting one of these. I got it from Amazon. As you can see, it says alcohol. It's not alcohol. This has a pump down feature. And I put Sea Breeze or an astringent in here. And I normally use a tissue or a cotton swab. I use the pump down feature, and I use that to clean my brushes. That's my bedroom. Our bedroom. Sorry. This is our hallway. This is what we're wrapping up our door here. This is our April wreath that we use. I just thought it was pretty, and I wanted to display it, so there it is. This is bedroom number 2. This is Morgan's bedroom. We don't have permission to be in here, so we're going to make it quick. This bedroom, as you can see, really isn't all that large. Very small, especially compared to what she used to have. Right now she's in Ocean City, and I don't know how she's sleeping because the guy is here. We have proudly displayed her biker jacket where they were national champions in 2004, along with her sister. And she's got TVs, she's in for different things. Clock that she made in Mr. Ackerman's class. Thanks, Mr. Ackerman. And of course she has her little collection of books, and Callie displayed her 2009, when she was a senior, her cheerleading jacket, and her pants. this next room. We're going to be very quick. And if you come down the hallway and you turn to the left, this is another room, and it's maybe a little bit, not quite twice the size of that room, but this is the bigger room, and Madison's in here, so. Can I come in? So, we're not going to stay in here for long. That was a tough feeling that she's got to leave. This is Madison's room, as you can see. It's a little bigger, a little bit harder for her because she does have to move a lot of things in and out as she moves back and forth to college. She loves giraffes, and we found this nice little set, and it was something that she loved, and she was doing so well, and I wanted her to have something nice. It's always nice to have your college kid have something nice to come home to. So she has done a wonderful job. She's a great organizer, and she's done wonders with this space. What you have isn't just her bookshelf. She's a bookworm. I probably should. Can I say what this one about? I just want to put this out really quick. We talked about my grandmother's table, my Chip's grandmother's bedroom set. The bed was actually part of that set. And this is actually one of Chip's grandmother's bells. She used to clip bells. And she got one when she passed away this past January. So we know she's in a better place, but we miss her. Love you, Gran. This is something that's very special, I think, pretty much always. So, leave Madison in peace. Thank you, Madison. So, this is our home. And I think Aspen's trying to give us the high sign in this time of week. So, I hope that everybody's enjoyed their little tour. If you are looking for a place to move, we'd love to have these neighbors. Seven Oaks is a great place to live. I wasn't quite sure, but when I came into the condo for the first time, I fell in love with it immediately. And this is very much home to me. When you say the word home, this is what I think of. So thanks for watching the video. I know it was a little long, but I wanted to show you how far I've come. And for all of you hoarders out there, people use it like it's a bad word. It's not, and it's just something that we all go through. But if I can do it, you can do it. Don't devalue how much space is worth. Clean a room. See how much space it is, and you make your own value. Don't let other people make that value for you. But in the meantime, I'm no longer sleeping every day. I'm up. I'm about taking care of my home, which I love. Taking care of my dog, which I love. I have fun decorating the house. And I just enjoy life now. So, again, thanks for watching. And I hope that if any of you are in the position that I was in as a hoarder, or if you know someone who is a hoarder, I hope that maybe gives you a little bit of inspiration. So, thanks, and have a good night.